We are continuing with special provisions for non-resident. One of the provision from PGBP chapter is section 44 DA, which provides special provisions for computing income by way of royalties for non-resident. My dear friend, you need to understand, if a non-resident is earning a royalty income, okay, he is having two choices. In fact, he is having two choices, or there are two possible situations. If he is having permanent establishment in India and he is having no permanent establishment in India. If he is having permanent establishment in India, then his computation in India will happen because you are having a permanent establishment here. And now any payment that you are making outside India or whatever royalty income you are earning in India will be computed under section 44 DA, and we will provide you exemption, deduction, and this will be taxable at normal rate. Please understand, this will be taxable at normal rate. We will provide you all the deduction, all the exemption possible, but only which is wholly and exclusively related to earning of this royalty income. If any expenses which is just the attribution from the holding company or foreign holding company in India, because in India you are only having PE, your holding company must be outside India, parent company must be outside India. So allocated expenditures will not be available. Apart from that, any expenditure that India is making to outside India to your holding company or your associate enterprises will not be allowed as a deduction. Two deductions we are not going to give. Okay, all the deductions are available, but two deductions are not available. Any expenditure which is not wholly and exclusively incurred for this permanent establishment which is located in India. Second, any payment made by Indian AE, Indian associate enterprise to foreign associate enterprise, that will not be allowed as a deduction. All other deductions will be given and the tax rate will be normal rate of tax. This is the one scenario. If you are having no permanent establishment in India, later on we will discuss section 115A, a special rate, a concessional rate of tax, that is 10% tax rate will be applicable to you. If you are earning a royalty income from India, only 10% income we are giving to you, 10% tax rate. Because we are giving you tax rate which is such a concessional tax rate, only 10%, we will not give any deduction under chapter PGBP or IFRS. No deduction under these chapters will be available to you. Without deduction, you have to pay on a gross amount 10%, isn't it? So this we have not discussed here in this lecture. We will discuss in the lecture when we start 115A. But you have to have a comparative analysis in your mind. 44DA when India is having a permanent establishment, 115A 10% when India doesn't have permanent establishment. DA, eligible assessee. Section 44 DA provides method for computation of income by way of royalty or fees for technical services arising from the arrangement made by the non-resident with Indian company or government on or after 2003, where such non-resident carries a business or profession in India through permanent establishment, very very important line, or fixed place of business, and the right property contract in respect of which royalty or fees for technical services are paid is effectively connected with such permanent establishment. So he doesn't only have PE here, the royalty is on through this particular PE, is connected with this PE. Okay. Expenses are not allowed as a deduction. I told you there are two expenses which are not allowed as a deduction. While computing income chargeable to tax under this section, following expenses are not allowed. First, expenditure or allowances incurred which is not wholly and exclusively for such permanent establishment. This is the negative condition. A positive condition says the expenses which are allowed as a deduction should be wholly and exclusively on behalf of this permanent establishment which is located in India. Amount paid otherwise than reimbursement. If there is some actual reimbursement cost, that's okay, but apart from reimbursement, any amount paid by the permanent establishment to the head office or to its any other offices are not allowed. But if some plant and machinery was purchased on behalf of this particular permanent establishment, or some website payment was made, some expenditure were actually incurred by the holding company or by HO, it is just a reimbursement. Reimbursement will be allowed. Any other payment will not be allowed by Indian PE to the foreign PE. That was the one section. Another section which is important here, and we have touched upon this section when we were discussing IFOS and TDS under section 194E. I hope you remember TDS under 194E. E stands for entertainer, and any entertainers who are coming to India to play IPL, to participate in Indian events, to participate in Formula 1 car race, whatever, it need not to be only cricket, any entertainment industry who comes to India, any entertainer who comes to India and they are earning income from India, their TDS will be deducted under 194E at a standard rate of 20% on gross amount plus applicable surcharge and cess if there. Now, please understand, it can be a foreign entertainer, it can be foreign sport association, okay, or it can be a sport person. Anybody can come to India and earn from India through various sources. When I say various sources, that means it can be a participation in game, or it can be writing news or articles, or participating in advertisement or campaigning, that means related to his profession. If a person who has come to India has done any other thing, like he has purchased a land and sold a land, so he will have long-term capital gain, or he has invested in Indian share market, or he has won the lottery. If he has earned any other special income which is having a special rate of tax in income tax law, then 115 BBA or 194E will not apply. Then the ordinary income tax rate will apply. That's what you have to learn here. Only income which is earned through their profession should be considered under 115 BBA, special provision for computing of tax for a non-resident sportsman or sport association. Look at this. It is important section, my dear friend. Okay, why important? It is easy and important because it has been targeted in exam. We will do practical question on 115 BVA which were asked in past exam. Eligible assessee and special rate of tax, where total income of the assessee referred in column 2 includes income referred in column 3 of the table. This will be taxable at 20%. Look at this. Eligible assessee, a sport person including an athlete who is not a citizen of India. Obviously, we are talking about NRFC, non-resident foreign citizen. This is not for Indian citizen. This section is applicable for only and only foreign citizen. Obviously, they are non-resident foreign citizens. Okay. Any income received from or receivable by way of participation, by way of means the dedicated list, the exhaustive list, participation in India in any game other than game of winning, not lottery and the horse racing. Okay. Other than the game winning, where from are taxable under 115 BB, being a winning from crossword puzzle, race, including horse race, card game, other game. These items are taxable at the rate of 30%, not 20%. Then advertisement and contribution of article relating to any game or sport in India in a newspaper, magazine or journals. So this is what you are supposed to do. Do the participation, do the advertisement, contribute your articles, earn the money, pay the tax at the rate of 20%. If it is a non-resident sport association, so foreign sport association, for coming in India, they charge some money. So whatever money they are getting from India, guarantee money, whatever money, okay, that is also not taxable, not taxable at the rate of 20%, not at normal rates. Any amount guaranteed to be paid or payable to the association or institution in relation to any game other than winning and all shall be taxable in India at the rate of 20%. And any entertainer, it can be singer, dancer, performer, anybody, okay, any income received or receivable for performance in India should be liable to pay tax at the rate of 20%. So usually they don't pay tax. Please understand, whoever is covered here, sportman, foreign association and entertainer, their TDS will be deducted under 194E at effective rate, and because the TDS inclusive of surcharge and cess is already deducted, they are also free from a compliance procedure of filing of ROI. They are not supposed to file ROI in India. Deduction of expenditure is not permissible. It is taxable at gross level. No deduction of any expenditure shall be allowed under any provision of this particular act. Filing of return of income is not required if the assessee, has only this income, has the total income in respect of his assessable under the act in the previous year only refers to this income, and the tax has been deducted under chapter 17B. So only this income and TDS is deducted, then you are free from the compliance procedure of filing of return. So this is a theoretical provision. Let us try and understand through practical questions which were targeted in past exam. Thank you.